I'm giving you the top 3 meta lockdown builds in NBA 2K25. And these aren't just any lockdown builds, these builds are from 2 of the best locks in the world. The first lock build is from Jo, who was a finalist in the $25,000 Raptors 3v3 tournament, and the other 2 lockdown builds are from Ray, who was a semi-finalist in the same $25,000 tournament. If you need a meta lockdown build, you're in the right place. And for a chance at some VC, drop a like on the video and comment the word GOAT. If Patrick Mahomes passes for 1 yard in the Super Bowl, you win. This is only on Prize Picks. And on top of that, if you use code YoungDirk and click the link in the description and place any $5 lineup, Prize Picks will give you $50. Prize Picks is super easy to use. First, you pick your sport. You can mix and match them. Let's stay in the NFL. Let's go to pass yards. Let's take the Mahomes free square, more than 0.5 yards. And then we're going to go over to the rush yards. I think Saquon's going to go crazy, so I think he's going to have more than 115.5 rushing yards. And then there's our lineup, and that's literally it. Do not miss out on this promo. He just needs 1 yard, you guys. And worst case, you can place any $5 lineup, and you get the $50 from Prize Picks, like I said. Please play responsibly. Big shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. Okay, for position, we're going to go with a small forward. We're going to be 6'4", 228 pounds with a 6'11" wingspan. Let's first jump into the physicals. As you guys know, speed and agility are very important for defense this year, which is why we're going with a 94 speed and a 92 agility. We're then going to go with an 85 strength to get that movable gold, which you will see in a bit, along with a 75 vertical to help with the rebounding. We have really good physicals, but what about the actual defense? We're going to go with a 94 perimeter, but we're going to use our +5 cap breaker to give us that 99 perimeter for challenger, on-ball menace, pick dodger, and off-ball pest, all on legend. Then we're going to come down to our steal and go with a 94 steal, but then use +2 of our cap breakers to get us glove and interceptor on Hall of Fame. As for our interior, we're going to put it to a 55. I know this seems low, but I'll explain in a minute why. And then we're going with a 68 block to get high fly and denier on bronze. And for the rebounding, we're going to go with a 75 O board and an 80 D board, which is going to get us box out beast on silver, pogo on bronze, and a rebound chaser on silver. I need you guys to understand that speed and agility is so important this year, and the fact that we have a 94 speed with a 92 agility, along with the 99 perimeter and legend badges, all of this combined is going to make it a lot easier to put people into an absolute cage. Now, of course, all guards use screens to avoid getting put in the cage, and that's no problem. You have the 94 speed and the 92 agility to run around them, and if you aren't able to avoid the screen, no problem again, you have legend pick dodger to just slide right through it. As far as the steal, Hoff is obviously very, very good, and if you want, you can use your max badge +1 on either glove or interceptor, which is what Jo is doing in some of these clips. Now, I understand that the interior is low, but with the meta playstyle for guards, you really aren't going to be defending the paint that much, and if you do, positioning is more important than the rating itself. And lastly, with the rebounding, because of the rebound chaser on silver and the high vert, you're gonna get some really good rebound animations and grab some boards that you didn't even think were possible. If you're a lock, you gotta be able to shoot, right? You gotta let it fly. So we're gonna go with an 89-3 for Deadeye, Limitless, and Shifty Shooter on silver, along with the Set Shot Specialist on gold. We're gonna keep our midi at a 79, and for the free throw, if you're a fives player, you're gonna put this to an 88. Now, obviously, if you don't play fives, don't put the free throw to an 88 and just use the remaining attributes on whatever you want. With the 89-3, you can hit some tough shots, especially in the corner like that shot right there. Now, most locks are gonna sit corner on offense and shoot majority of their shots from the corners, but with this build, you can be confident when taking your shots at the top of the key or on the wings. But if you're playing ranked pro-am, stage, or proving grounds, ideally, I would probably shoot only catch and shoots from players with dimer on at least Hall of Fame, because the difficulty is a lot higher than Park and Rec. But other than that, the 89-3 is actually pretty high for a lockdown build. The jump shot is Patty Mills. If you don't have Patty Mills unlocked yet, put on Cam Thomas, upper release 1, Oscar, upper release 2, Trey Mann, 3/4 speed, 65-35 blend. As for the playmaking, we're going to put our pass to a 55. I know this is really low. I'll explain why. It's a-okay. And then for the ball handle, we're going to keep it at a 74. And then our speed with ball, because of the speed, is going to stay at a 79. As you can see, it lowers the speed. Let's put this back. So yeah, with the 55 pass hack, you guys have to understand that pass is super expensive in the builder, and it's just not worth it for a lock. Why, you might ask? Because it's not your role. You're not going to throw crazy dots or steamers or anything like that. You're going to play defense and score when needed. Anytime you need to pass it back to the point guard, they are going to come to your hip, pause, and you are going to just hand the ball off to them, okay? That's it. If you're playing meta and smart, you aren't going to throw many passes at all that even have a chance of being stolen. And here are the dribble moves that Jo was using. Obviously, they're not anything crazy, but this is the best that you're gonna get with this ball handle. As for the finishing, we're going to put our driving dunk to a 73 for that posterizer on bronze. We're going to leave the layup and close shot as is, and we're going to max out our standing dunk to a 64. You're going to be doing a lot of standing dunks on this build, and then the post control is going to end up being a 35. Is the role of a lockdown to get crazy contact dunks? No, it is not. The dunking role of a lockdown is to just dunk the ball without getting blocked. And the only times you're really going to dunk are on fast breaks or on cuts, and that's where your high standing dunk comes in. And here are the dunk packages. No 2-foot moving dunks. We're using rim grazers off one, we're using hangs off one, and athletic hangs off one. Then we're using flashy hangs. For the standing dunks, we are using the 2-hand under basket regular, and that's it. Don't put on anything else. So here is the first lockdown build. If you want to tweak it to your play style and the game modes you play, as always, that's completely okay. Let's get into the next lock. For lockdown build number 2, we're also going with a small forward, but we're going to be 6'6" this time, and we're going to be 200 pounds with a 7'2" wingspan. Again, let's start with the physicals. Now I'm going to give you guys two options here, okay? Again, speed and agility, very important. So you can go with 93 speed with 92 agility with a 75 vert, which is what I prefer. Or you can go 92 speed with an 80 vertical, but like I said, I like it like this better. And then with the strength, we're gonna go with a 71. As for the actual defense, again, we're going with that 94 perimeter, and we're gonna use our +5 cap breakers to get us 99 perimeter, to get us legend, challenger, on-ball menace, pick dodger, and off-ball pest. Again, we're gonna drop down to the steal. We're gonna go with a 94 steal and +2 it with our cap breakers to get us Hoff glove and Hoff interceptor. The 6'6" will have a little more interior with a 60, and then we're gonna go with a 68 block for the high flying denier on bronze. As for the rebounding, we're going with a 77 O board. We're maxing it out. And then for the D board, we're going with a 70. We're gonna get rebound chaser on bronze and box out beast on silver. So realistically, the 6'6" is a little better on defense than the 6'4". We're bigger and longer, pause, with pretty much the same attributes. And if you want to use your max badges +1 on glove and interceptor, you can make either of them on legend, which is what Ray did in some of these clips. Now, I personally am a fan of the 6'6" lock over the 6'4" because I feel like that height and length, bro, it just sounds so sus. I'm sorry. But the height and length is just so valuable in my opinion. And like I said, you pretty much have the same exact attributes as the 6'4". But with the height and length, you have to sacrifice some stuff, which you will see now. Again, if we're locked down, we gotta be able to shoot. So we don't have as much shooting as the 6'4", but we're going with an 83-3 to get us that bronze Deadeye, bronze Limitless, and bronze Shifty Shooter, along with the set shot on silver. We're going to leave our midi at a 73. As for the free throw, we're going to put it to a 92. Obviously, if you don't play fives, you can put the remaining attributes on whatever else you want. Like I said, we had to sacrifice something, and that happened to be our three-point shot. But in my opinion, especially in the corner, in ranked pro, I'm in park, it doesn't matter. The 83-3 is going to be okay. Majority of your shots are going to be catch and shoot, and majority of them are going to be coming off Hall of Fame or Legend Dimer. The jump shot is Jarrett Culver, Cody Martin, Oscar Robertson, full speed 51-49 blend. Real quick, if you guys need teammates or anybody to play with, join my Discord. The link is in the description. It's very active. I'm even active in there, and I will answer to every question. Just make sure you tag me. Again, join up, link in the description. As for the pass accuracy, again, I already explained why the 55 pass accuracy is more than okay during the 6'4" breakdown. So if you missed that, go back and watch that. For the ball handle, it's going to stay at a 73, and the speed with ball is going to stay at a 78. Now, here's the dribble moves. It's not like you're going to be able to ISO up a pure lock on this build, you are a lock at the end of the day, not a point guard. But if your point guard needs a bailout or your teammate or whatever needs a bailout, you can try to make something happen at the end of the shot clock. Also, side note, Zion Williamson dribble style has a very, very good cross launch, so you can definitely take advantage of that. Now for the finishing, the standing dunks on this build are very important. So we're going with a 72 standing dunk. That's going to get us a 62 driving dunk. Again, our priority is the standing dunks with this build. Please keep in mind that the goal of this build is not to catch bodies and dunk like Michael Jordan, okay? The goal of this build, as far as the dunking, is to dunk on fast breaks and cuts, and that's it. And that's why we have the 72 standing dunk, to cut back door and just go up and dunk the ball without getting blocked. And here's the dunks. We are using no 2-foot moving dunks, but for the 1-foot moving dunks, it is rim grazers off 1, hangs off 1, and then for the standing dunks, it is 2-hand under basket regular, and then pro under basket rim pulls, and then for the signature dunks, it is Klay Thompson. Here's lock build number 2. Remember, if you want to tweak it to your play style in the game modes you play, that's completely okay. It's your build at the end of the day. Now, let's get into the third lock build. The third build is our tallest one. We're 6'7", 218 pounds with a 7'3" wingspan. Again, we're going to start with the physicals. We're going to max out our speed to give us a 90, max out our agility to give us an 85, we're going to max out our strength to get us that 85, which will eventually get us the immovable on gold, and we can +1 this to get it to Hall of Fame immovable. And then for our vertical, we're going to go with a 76. As for the actual defense, again, we're going to go with a 94 perimeter and +5 it to get us the 99 perimeter, which will get us the Challenger on Legend, On-Ball Menace and Pick Dodger on Hoff, immovable on gold, and off-ball pest on Legend. Go down to the steal again. We're going with a 94, and we're going to +2 it to get us the glove and interceptor on Hall of Fame. Our interior is going to be a 60, but our block this time is going to be a 78, which is going to get us the high flying denier on silver and paint patroller on bronze. Our offensive rebound is going to be an 80, which is going to get us the rebound chaser and box out beast on silver. And then our D board is going to be a 70. This is the tallest and longest meta lock of the video. And in my opinion, this is a good lock if you are guarding big guards, ISO guards, or guards that like to drive to the rim. You still have 90 speed and 85 agility. It's not as good as the 6'6" or the 6'4", but you have the immovable on Hall of Fame when you use your max badge +1. You still have the 99 perimeter and the 96 steal. Yes, it's not the same badges, but the block makes up for it because this is the highest block out of any of the meta locks. And you get that high flying denier on silver and that paint patroller on bronze. And if you're deciding between the 6'6" and the 6'7", it really just depends on what types of players you mainly guard and the role on your team. But let's keep going, the rest will help you make a decision. Now, because we're 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan, our 3 isn't going to be as high, it's a 79, but you can definitely still shoot with this. You have Deadeye on bronze, Shifty on bronze, and Set Shot on silver. Obviously, it's not ideal, but this is the type of lock that's going to sit corner on offense. As for the free throw, if you're a 5s player, put it to a 91. If you're not, you can use the remaining attributes on whatever you want. I almost forgot our midi. It's going to be on a 73. Now, unfortunately, this is the lowest 3-ball of the locks. This is for sure a spot-up corner lock, but you're pretty much only shooting catch-and-shoot shots off of dimer, so you will be able to green consistently as long as you can time your jump shot, of course. And speaking of jump shots, here is the jump shot that Ray was using. The jump shot is Jarrett Culver, Cody Martin, Oscar Robertson, full speed, 51-49 blend. Again, the standing dunks are very, very important. This is how you're going to score majority of your points in the paint, and we're going with a 72 for that rise up on bronze. Our driving dunk is going to stay at a 62. Our driving layup is going to be a 55, close shot a 70, and our post control is going to end up at a 51. Again, this build is not meant for posterizing people and catching bodies. It's meant for dunking on the fast break and on cuts, which is why we went with the 72 standing dunk. So when you do go for a cut, you can just catch the ball and go right up and put the ball in the basket. And here are the dunks. No 2-foot moving dunks, but we are going to use 1-foot moving dunks. We're going to use rim grazers off 1, hangs off 1, and then for standing, 2-hand under basket regular, pro under basket rim pulls, and then Klay Thompson, and that's it. Again, our pass accuracy is the super high 55, ball handle a 70. I'll show you the dribble moves. and our speed with ball is a 75 for lightning launch on silver. And here's the dribble moves to make sure you take advantage of the Zion Williamson cross launch. And here's the third and final meta lock build, whichever build you go with. As always, if you want to tweak it to your playstyle and the game modes you play, that's completely okay. Now, if you want to become a defensive god, watch that video on screen. It's gonna help you out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Drop a like if you did. Have a good day. Go out.